Hi, my name's Chad Torrick. I work at Munro Shock Absorbers. The company is Tenneco Automotive. It's a global company. My role here is a state sales manager. I cover South Australia, Northern Territory and WA, and I'm also in charge of the truck program for heavy commercial vehicles. So our range of products vary for the passenger market here in Australia. We've got a diversified range of struts and shock absorbers to suit most of the vehicles on the roads today. The car park's a very diversified car park, so therefore we have to build products to suit that range of vehicles. So what we have today is a range of struts and shocks here on display. The first one is an OE Spectrum product, and that's a G Series, 7 Series product that we import from our factories globally. And that's more catered for almost a standard replacement shock absorber. The valving's tuned specifically to suit the vehicle dynamic, but that's the product that people go to for a standard replacement shock absorber. When you're stepping up in the range, you've also got a premium product, which is GT Gas Reflex. This has Reflex technology valving codes, which means the shocker performs slightly different on the vehicle. It's more of a performance-tuned shock absorber, so it's virtually a step up from your OE Spectrum product. We also then have a GT Sport product here, which is our performance product. This is more tailored for your performance market for Ford and Holden. So we've got a very good range in that segment of the market for performance, where you can lower your vehicle from 1 inch to 3 inch. Now this product again is sold as a strut and a shock, and it also comes with a bump stop as well as part of the offering that we supply our customers. So we also have a very strong range in four-wheel drive. The four-wheel drive market is one of our biggest growth categories at the moment, and we've had this product out in the market for some time. It's actually now called a TDT Gas Magnum. And this TDT Gas Magnum can be used for a standard height four-wheel drive and also raised four-wheel drive. We've just launched our new range of TDT Raised, which you can actually raise vehicles up to 50 mil, which is 2 inches. So it's a specifically designed product with 35 bore, 16 mil piston rods, so it's very robust, and the technology is there so you can actually take this product off-road and be confident to use it. We also have another category, which is our Gas Magnum range, or the Magnum truck program. This is a big 45 bore product, and is used primarily in prime movers such as truck and trailer market. The one we've got on display here is one of our key trailer shock absorbers that we use on a Kruger trailer, which is the F5015. And again, we're very well recognised in the trailer industry and for truck and trailer. We also do a range of boot and bonnet struts as well, which is our MaxLift range. We've just released a new catalogue today, which has another 118 applications in it, which takes us over to 450 plus in our range. So we've got a very, very strong offering in our boot and bonnet strut range for MaxLift. We also have the strut mates as well. Now these strut mates are almost like an add-on that you would then fit to your strut. It's almost like a protection boot kit. So what it does primarily is it will cover your exposed piston rod. And what they will do for you is stop any contaminants entering the seals of that product. Where we get issues with shock absorbers is where you get contamination and seal damage. And when a seal breaks, it leaks oil and it also leaks gas. Once that happens to a shock absorber, it's deemed to be at a point of replacement. So to prolong that, you will then fit a Strutmate boot kit protection product on there. We sell these individually and also in pairs, and we've got a very large range to suit most of the struts that we sell. We also have a new product called a mounting kit. Now this is the top mount that you actually use. Normally when you get a strut replacement, you also need to check your top mounts for any damage. And so what we have now is we've got a very large range that we've got available in this segment of the market. So we do encourage you to replace the strut tops or mounting kits. And they're categorised as an MK in our catalogue or a 9-0. So I think Munro's competitive advantage is what is inside the shock absorber. We build products globally for a very, very large market. Every shock absorber from the body is very similar, but it's what goes inside the shock absorber. So we run Teflon band technology, which reduces friction in a shock absorber. As we all know, you want to keep the actual heat down in a shock absorber, because as the product heats up, it actually reduces the way that the product performs. So for Munro, we have piston rod technology, 16 mil piston rod technology. We've got Teflon band coating on our pistons. We also have 16 mil, the piston rod itself is a 16 mil piston rod. We run a twin tube technology designed shock absorber as well. So the body of the shock absorber is a twin tube, which again gives you the benefits. So therefore, if you have any external damage to the shock absorber, it's still deemed workable, especially on a four-wheel drive product. If you're out bush and it does get some external damage to the shock absorber, you can still function that shock absorber with the twin tube design. So I think some of those product features and benefits also that categorise us differently in the market is about the amount of oil that you have in the shock absorber as well. We have an average of 30% more oil in our shock absorbers, and again, most shock absorbers on the market these days are oil filled and nitrogen gas charged. And the reason why we nitrogen gas charge a shock absorber is to stop the aeration, and the aeration process in a shock absorber is the bubbling of the oil. And then what happens there is that then pockets of air will then work its way through the valves, and then of course the shock absorber functionality will reduce as a result of that. So I think some of those attributes that we offer the customer is really the integral componentry internally that we put into the shock absorbers that make us probably one of the marquee brands.